What is a Wi-Fi extender? So that is the subject of this video. Now, a Wi-Fi extender, as the name suggests, is what extends the range of a wireless signal from a Wi-Fi router. It acts like a bridge between a Wi-Fi router and a Wi-Fi device that is outside the range of a Wi-Fi router's signal. The Wi-Fi extender first connects to an existing Wi-Fi network, and then once it's connected, it then acts like a wireless access point for Wi-Fi devices to connect to. So as an example, most people who have internet service in their home will most likely have a Wi-Fi router that will broadcast a wireless signal all throughout their home so that their wireless devices can have internet access. But sometimes there might be issues where the wireless signal is not strong enough to cover the entire house. So for example, in this home, the Wi-Fi router is in the living room. Now if you have a wireless laptop that's connected to the router's Wi-Fi in the same room as the Wi-Fi router, the signal is obviously going to be very strong since it's close to the router. But as you move further away from the router, the wireless signal will not be as strong. So in this room up here, and as you can see by the signal bars, the signal is weaker, but you will still be connected and still have internet access. And also in the kitchen, it's the same result. The signal is not as strong, but you can still access the internet. So reaching the wireless signal in these two areas are not necessarily a problem. However, if you were to try to access the wireless signal from the furthest distance in the house, like up here in the bedroom, the wireless signal is going to be very weak, or the signal may not reach at all. And the main reason for this is obviously the distance, because as you get further away from the Wi-Fi router, the signal weakens. And another reason is the building structure, because as a wireless signal broadcasts, the signal gets weakened as it goes through walls and through floors in a building. Now, one way to solve this problem could be to reposition the Wi-Fi router to a different location in the house, such as moving it closer to the center. But this could be an issue, especially if you have wired devices that are connected to the router, or if you have a connected modem that can't be moved and needs to stay in its original location. But there is another way to solve this, and this is by using a Wi-Fi extender. The Wi-Fi extender will connect to the wireless signal and extend the distance of the wireless signal so it can reach further distances. So the best place to put the Wi-Fi extender would be somewhere in the middle of this home. So in this case, we're just going to put it here in the kitchen. And by placing it here, the Wi-Fi extender is still close enough to receive a strong signal from the router, and it can still send a strong signal up here to the bedroom. So now the Wi-Fi extender will connect wirelessly to the Wi-Fi router's signal, and then once it's connected, it will broadcast its own wireless signal all throughout this home. Now keep in mind, the Wi-Fi extender is not strengthening or amplifying the router's signal. It's actually broadcasting its own signal, but it's getting its internet access from the router. So for example, this router broadcasts a wireless signal with a name that's customizable. And this name is called the SSID, or Service Set Identifier. So let's say that the owner called the wireless signal Home, H-O-M-E. This name is how you identify which wireless signal that you want to connect to. And the Wi-Fi extender is also going to broadcast a signal with its own SSID, or name. Now, a lot of times when you're hooking up a Wi-Fi extender, the extender's setup assistant may name itself as the same SSID as the router's, but with a name added at the end. So for example, as I said before, the router's SSID is called Home, and then once the extender is configured and hooked up to the router, it may call itself Home EXT. So now if we open up the laptop up here in the bedroom and then scan for wireless networks in the area, we'll see the router's Wi-Fi signal called Home, and the Wi-Fi extender signal called Home EXT. And as you can see, the router's Wi-Fi signal is very weak, but the Wi-Fi extender signal is very strong. So this laptop will now connect to the Wi-Fi extender signal, and then once it's connected, it's able to access the internet. So now any device that connects to the Wi-Fi extender signal will be able to access the internet. If you want to know which Wi-Fi extender that I personally recommend, there's a link in the description below, and it's by far the best one that I've worked with yet. I've personally set this up for many of my customers, and they all have been very pleased with it without any complaints. It's made by Netgear, and I created this graphic to look just like it. And like I said, there's a link in the description below. And thank you for watching.